Somewhere, right now, there's a version of you that never showed up. Not because he didn't exist, because you stopped waiting for him. Every man carries two lives, the one he's living and the one he was capable of living. Most men never notice the gap between them until it's too wide to cross. The question isn't whether that man exists. The question is, what happened to him? Here's the uncomfortable part. Most men don't fail to become him through one big collapse. There's no single dramatic moment where the better version of you dies. It happens in inches. Psychologists call this identity drift, a slow, almost invisible erosion between who you intended to be and who you're actually becoming. One small decision at a time. You skip the workout just once. You let the hard conversation slide just this week. You tell yourself you'll start Monday. None of these choices feel like betrayal in the moment. That's exactly why they work. The brain isn't wired to react to slow decline the way it reacts to sudden danger. A man will fight off a threat that appears in front of him instantly, but he'll sleepwalk through a decade of small surrenders and never once feel the alarm go off. By the time most men notice the distance between the man they are and the man they meant to be, they've already built a life around the smaller version. A job that fits him, a routine that excuses him, a story that protects him. That's not weakness. That's just how identity erosion works when nobody's watching for it. Here's what almost nobody sees coming. The version of you that never shows up doesn't disappear because life got in the way. He disappears because you kept choosing comfort over confrontation and calling it patience. Most men think becoming him requires some external permission, a better job, a better body, a better relationship, more time, more money, more proof that it's safe to start. But identity doesn't wait for external proof. It's built from the inside through repeated decisions that either align with the man you want to become or quietly betray him. The hidden cause isn't laziness, it's avoidance dressed up as reason. I'll start when things settle down is rarely a plan. It's a permission slip to stay exactly where you are indefinitely without ever having to admit you're choosing it. The man who never shows up isn't missing. He's been available the entire time. You just kept scheduling him for later. Picture two soldiers standing at the edge of the same battlefield, centuries apart. The first is a young Roman officer named Regulus. Captured by Carthage, he was released on parole to negotiate peace terms with one condition. If the terms failed, he had to return to certain death. History remembers what he did next. He walked into the Roman Senate and argued against the very peace that would have saved his own life because he believed it was wrong for Rome. Then, he kept his word. He returned to Carthage. He didn't have to. There was no system forcing him. There was only the man he'd already decided to be long before that moment ever arrived. Now, picture a modern man, any man, sitting in his car outside the gym, engine running, telling himself he'll go tomorrow instead. No one is watching. Nothing dramatic is at stake. And yet this is the same fork in the road Regulus faced, just at a smaller scale, played out in a smaller room with lower stakes and no audience. The difference between the man history remembers and the man who quietly fades isn't circumstance. It's that one of them decided ahead of time who he was going to be, regardless of what it cost him in that specific moment. Becoming him was never about the size of the moment. It was about deciding in advance. So how does a man actually close that gap? The distance between who he is and who he was capable of being. This works because willpower is unreliable in the moment, but identity is not. If you wait until you're standing at the decision point to figure out who you want to be, you'll almost always default to the easier version of yourself, the one who's tired, distracted, or looking for an exemption. But if you've already decided ahead of time, I am someone who keeps his word, or I am someone who trains even when he doesn't feel like it, the decision has already been made. You're just executing it. Most men measure themselves by what they meant to do. Track what you actually did instead. A simple daily record of whether your actions matched the identity you claimed. This works because identity is built from evidence, the same way trust is built between two people. You don't trust someone because they meant well. You trust them because their actions lined up repeatedly over time. You have to earn your own trust the same way. Don't promise yourself a transformation. Promise yourself one small, specific action and keep it without exception. This works because consistency compounds faster than intensity. A man who keeps a small promise every day for a year has built something a man who makes a huge promise and breaks it in week 2 never will. Proof that his word means something, even to himself. Picture the man who keeps avoiding the moment. 5 years from now, he's not in crisis. That's the trap. Nothing collapses. He's just smaller, quieter about his own potential. He's stopped mentioning the things he used to say he'd do. He's made peace with a version of himself he wouldn't have accepted a decade ago, and he's built a life that's comfortable enough to make the silence tolerable. Now picture the other path. 5 years from now, the man who decided ahead of time, who tracked evidence instead of intention, who kept small promises without exception. He doesn't look dramatically different from the outside, but something in how he carries himself has changed. He trusts himself. He's not waiting for a better version of his life to arrive before he starts acting like the man he's capable of being. He already is that man because he decided to be one ordinary day at a time. Same starting point, same obstacles, 2 entirely different men, 5 years out, and the only difference between them was which one showed up on the ordinary days nobody was watching. He's not missing. He's not lost. He's not waiting for a better moment. He's been available this entire time, in every small decision you've been postponing, every promise you've been quietly renegotiating with yourself. Every choice you make today is shaping the man you'll become tomorrow. Keep building. Keep becoming.